In January 2022, TaylorMade Golf Company announced a historic technological innovation, the Carbonwood Stealth driver. The driver took 20 years to innovate and promises to change the industry forever. Fast Company took a sneak peek at TaylorMade's world headquarters in Carlsbad, California, to find out why these golf clubs are Tiger Woods approved.
TaylorMade thinks about innovation a bit differently than most companies. It's a mindset. It's a willingness to create something new that either doesn't exist today or the opportunity to build something that does exist and make it better. It's the hardest thing to do. To truly be an innovative company, you have to be willing to take on risk that others won't. Because when you are an innovative company, you succeed in certain areas and you have to wake up every day thinking that there's a better opportunity, a better approach, a new idea, a new concept that could further advance your cause or your purpose. And that's what defines TaylorMade. From Tiger Woods to Dustin Johnson to Rory McIlroy to Colin Morikawa, all TaylorMade athletes. These are professional athletes that make their living playing the game of golf. And they will not put a product in their bag unless it's measurably better than the prior generation product that they were playing. Stealth is the first product in my 30 years of designing, developing, selling, and marketing golf clubs that went into every player's bag at the first test session. That's never happened before at our company.
The 20-year innovation process of TaylorMade's Stealth driver was met with various issues because they had to build their own technology from scratch, without having the option to turn to other industries or products.
For hundreds of years, drivers were made out of wood. And then in 1979, TaylorMade came along and developed the steel wood, and that became the metalwood era. In the late 90s, we saw this new era in metalwoods, and that was titanium. So now with Stealth, we're moving into the carbonwood era. Carbon composites are a space-age material. They've only been around for about 50 years. It took us almost a decade to figure out how to make a perfect composite. We realized we needed to protect the carbon, because carbon does a lot of things really well. One thing it doesn't do well is resist abrasion. So we spent almost 3 years trying to develop this new polymer. We knew it needed to be clear, it couldn't foam, it needed to be lightweight. And once we found that, we're like, great, we're done. Then we bring it up to the robot and we test it and it looks pretty good, but then we test it with wet golf balls. And it's terrible. We can't hit it anywhere with a wet golf ball. For somebody like me who grew up playing in the rain, I grew up in Ireland, you know you need to hit wet golf balls. From then on, what we did is we focused on adapting this polymer cover and changing the roughness pattern on the face so that it could handle wet golf balls. What we did is we added score lines and we came up with this nano texture on the face that allows the ball to be grabbed so it can launch higher with less spin and go further. There were definitely plenty of times where, there were big wins and big losses. As you can imagine, over the course of 20 years, there was plenty of false starts, as we call them. We use a Golf Labs robot, otherwise known as Iron Byron. It replicates a perfect golf swing. And it also allows us to dial in whatever kind of swing we want. And we can change the face angle, the impact location, and we can do it repeatedly every single time. So we know when we make a tweak to our driver, what that does to the performance of the golf ball. To put it in context of, the greatest golfer of all time, Tiger Woods, the robot is about 4 times better than him at replicating consistency. Tiger is unbelievable, but the robot is a little bit better than Tiger. Don't tell him I said that. In terms of durability and the endurance of our product, we test every single day from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night. And so the Stealth driver over the last 2 years has hit over 4.5 million shots. And typically we'll test about 10 million shots in our lab here in Carlsbad in a given year.